Welcome to my December review for the fourth quarter of 2022. The past quarter from September the 1st has followed the pattern of 2022. Extreme levels of volatility have caused equity and bond markets to continue to fly up and down. The reasons behind this are mainly inflation and confidence in Western government debt. If someone asks you for a loan, you might consider helping them out if you have every confidence that they will repay the debt. Someone with little debt and strong disposable income is likely to be a better bet than someone with huge debts and very little disposable income. So it is with governments. Now, in September and October, we got to see what really happens when governments play chicken with lenders, when Liz Truss's government decided to ignore the bond markets that fund government debt. The results were not pretty, with the yields or interest rates demanded by bond markets flying up. The US have been experiencing similar challenges as they try to dance a line between borrowing just enough without panicking bond markets, whilst trying to service their existing eye-watering levels of debt. All of this has been occurring while central banks, such as the Federal Reserve and Bank of England, try to combat global inflation in their own backyards through interest rate rises. Global inflation is still very much an issue thanks to the after effects of poor central bank decisions in 2021, the war in Ukraine, and Chinese COVID-constricted supply chains. Both equity and bond markets were falling heavily in October. Then, headline inflation data started coming out of America, showing that inflation was really starting to fall. Phew, it's over, thought the markets. And so bonds and equities started to rise encouragingly on the assumption that the Fed would stop hiking up interest rates at such a brutal pace. November has been an excellent month for our client portfolios. But there's always a catch. The Fed haven't come out and stated that they're going to slow down on anything yet. It's still a case of wait and see, which means the markets probably got ahead of themselves. Once again, we can see the clues as to what a genuine recovery will look like, but we might sadly not be there quite yet. Nonetheless, I'm personally sceptical over the Bank of England predictions of a long and protracted recession. If the past 3 years have taught us anything, it's that you just can't predict what will happen next month, let alone next year. Our view at Thomas & Thomas is that quality does eventually win the day. So we're holding on to good quality fund managers with good quality underlying stocks, even if they might not be so fashionable right now, because we trust our process and diligent research. We've gone into this quarter's review with a focus on something called alpha. Now, we talk with our clients a lot about beta, which represents the amount of risk a fund manager is taking for the return that they provide you. However, alpha is a different measure that considers the amount of outperformance against the markets that the fund manager has delivered. Thanks to the advanced research tools that we have at our disposal, we're able to get all of our model portfolios independently alpha scored. This provides us with some great clues as to which fund managers we should continue to hold and which fund managers may now need to be switched. We've concluded that some changes will be required in our level 1, 2 and 5 portfolios this time. However, we're pleased by the way that all our portfolios have held up over what has, again, been a very challenging quarter. This has been one of the toughest years that I've known within my 25-year career. This could be concerning. However, history teaches us time and time again that awful years like 2022 are eventually followed by exciting and worthwhile recovery. The growth periods wipe out the losses, and we can then clearly see the long-term power of investing once again. I do hope that you find your quarterly review useful and informative as ever. We're here for you 100%, and here's to a less eventful 2023.